The early morning Los Angeles sun was already intense, casting long shadows across Sunset Boulevard as Sylvester Stallone completed his rigorous training session. At 77, he moved with the same intensity that had defined his career. Each punch, each step a testament to discipline that had made him a Hollywood legend. Sweat soaked through his gray tank top, dark patches spreading across the fabric that clung to his muscular frame. His weathered boxing gloves hung around his neck, and a well-worn gym bag was slung over his shoulder. The morning workout had been particularly grueling, a combination of boxing drills, weight training, and cardio that would exhaust men half his age. He had chosen to walk the few blocks from his private gym to the Platinum Horizon Hotel, enjoying the early morning energy of Beverly Hills. The street was quiet, save for the occasional jogger and the soft hum of luxury cars gliding past. Stallone's gait was purposeful, his body language speaking of years of physical training and mental discipline. As he approached the hotel's entrance, the doorman, a tall, distinguished African-American man named Marcus Johnson, recognized him immediately. Marcus had been with the hotel for 7 years and knew Stallone not just as the owner, but as a man who treated every employee with respect. "Good morning, Mr. Stallone," Marcus greeted warmly, opening the massive glass door. "Looks like you've had quite a workout." Stallone smiled, a genuine crinkle-eyed expression that betrayed decades of character. "Morning, Marcus. Never too old to keep pushing," he responded, his voice a distinctive gravelly mixture of Philadelphia and Hollywood. Inside the lobby, the contrast was immediate. Pristine white marble floors reflected the morning light. Crystal chandeliers hung from impossibly high ceilings, and fresh orchids adorned carefully placed side tables. The Platinum Horizon was more than just a hotel. It was a statement of luxury, of precision, of careful design. At the reception desk, Emily Thompson looked up. Recent graduate of UCLA with a degree in social sciences, she represented a new generation, passionate, opinionated, and quick to judge. Her perfectly pressed blazer and meticulously styled hair stood in sharp contrast to Stallone's post-workout appearance. Their eyes met. In that moment, a narrative was about to unfold that neither of them could have anticipated. Emily's lips curled into a barely concealed sneer as Stallone approached the reception desk. Her fingers, adorned with a delicate silver ring bearing a peace symbol, hovered over the computer keyboard. The lobby, typically a hushed sanctuary of luxury, now became a stage for an unexpected confrontation. "Excuse me," she began, her voice dripping with condescension. "This is a 5-star hotel. I'm going to have to ask you to leave." Stallone raised an eyebrow, setting down his gym bag. Droplets of sweat still traced lines down his weathered face, a roadmap of decades in Hollywood and fitness. "Pardon me?" he responded, his trademark gravelly voice carrying a mix of confusion and mild amusement. "Sir?" Emily continued, louder now, drawing the attention of nearby guests. A middle-aged couple from Seattle and a business executive checking his emails on an iPad. "This establishment does not permit homeless individuals to enter. There's a shelter about 10 blocks from here that might be more appropriate." The lobby fell into an uncomfortable silence. The business executive glanced up, his initial annoyance transforming into curiosity. The Seattle couple exchanged uncomfortable looks. Marcus, the doorman, took a step forward, but Stallone subtly raised his hand, a gesture that said, "I've got this." "I'm here to discuss some hotel matters," Stallone explained calmly, his Philadelphia accent slightly more pronounced. "I'm actually the owner." Emily laughed, a sharp, dismissive sound that echoed through the marble lobby. "Right. And I'm the Queen of England. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave before I call security." Her computer mouse was already moving toward the security alert button. Her generation's passion for social justice had calcified into something less nuanced, a rigid worldview that mistook appearances for identity. The Seattle wife whispered to her husband, "This doesn't seem right." The business executive had put down his iPad, watching the scene with increasing interest. Stallone remained calm. Years of playing Rocky Balboa and John Rambo had taught him something about maintaining composure under pressure. But this was real life, not a movie script. And the script was about to take an unexpected turn. "I understand your concern," he said softly, "but I think there's been a misunderstanding." Emily's finger hovered over the security alert, her face a mixture of self-righteous determination and growing uncertainty. The lobby held its collective breath, unaware that a moment of profound lesson was about to unfold. The lobby's ambient music seemed to fade into complete silence. Emily's hand still hovered near the computer, her manicured fingers trembling slightly with a mixture of embarrassment and defiance. Stallone reached into his worn leather wallet, pulling out a series of documents. His movements were deliberate, practiced, the same calculated precision he'd used in countless movie roles. First came a platinum corporate credit card with the Platinum Horizon Hotel logo. Then, corporate ownership documents. Finally, a California State Business Registration Certificate listing Sylvester Stallone as the primary owner and CEO of Horizon Luxury Hospitality Group. "These might help clarify things," he said quietly, spreading the documents across the marble reception desk. Marcus, the doorman, stepped closer. His eyes widened in recognition, though he remained professionally composed. He'd known about the hotel's ownership but had never witnessed such a moment. Emily's face transformed in stages. First came confusion, then a deep crimson of embarrassment, and finally a pale shock that drained all color from her cheeks. The business executive leaned forward, examining the documents with professional curiosity. You own this hotel?" she stammered, her earlier bravado completely evaporating. Stallone's smile wasn't cruel. It was patient, almost paternal. "Not just this hotel. We have 7 properties across California, with plans for expansion in New York and Florida." The Seattle couple now looked fascinated. The husband, a retired high school principal, watched the scene with the keen interest of someone who'd seen many teachable moments in his career. "But how?" Emily whispered, her earlier judgment now replaced by genuine bewilderment. Stallone set down his gym bag, straightening to his full height. Years of physical training made him appear larger than his actual frame. "After my movie career, I diversified. Real estate, hospitality, fitness businesses. Hollywood was just one chapter of my life." The business executive chuckled softly, muttering something about never judging a book by its cover to himself. Marcus quietly approached, speaking in a low, respectful tone. "Would you like me to prepare the executive conference room, Mr. Stallone?" "Please." Stallone nodded. Emily stood frozen, the weight of her mistake crushing her previous confidence. The lobby, moments ago a scene of potential humiliation, now felt charged with an electricity of unexpected revelation. Stallone wasn't looking to humiliate her. He was waiting, watching, allowing the moment to teach its own profound lesson about assumptions, respect, and the complexity of human experience. The story was far from over, and the most important part was about to begin. The executive conference room was immaculate. floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Beverly Hills, a polished mahogany table reflecting the morning light. Emily sat across from Stallone, her earlier bravado completely dissolved, replaced by a vulnerability that made her seem years younger. "I've reviewed your personnel file," Stallone began, his voice measured and calm. "UCLA graduate, top 10% of your class. Internship with a social justice nonprofit in downtown LA. Your recommendations are impressive." Emily couldn't meet his gaze. The documents of her academic achievements seemed to mock her current predicament. Stallone continued, "But recommendations and degrees mean nothing if you've lost the ability to see humanity in people. Not just in theory, but in practice." He wasn't lecturing. He was conversing, drawing from decades of life experience that went far beyond his Hollywood persona. The man who had played working-class heroes in Rocky and First Blood understood dignity in a way textbooks could never teach. "I could fire you," he said simply. "One call, and you'd be out of a job. But that would solve nothing." Tears welled in Emily's eyes, not from self-pity, but from a genuine recognition of her profound mistake. "Instead," Stallone proposed, "I want you to undergo a comprehensive training program. Customer service, certainly. But more importantly, a program about unconscious bias, about truly seeing people." He pulled out a folder, meticulously prepared, typical of his disciplined approach to business. Inside were details of a 6-month professional development program, guest service workshops, seminars on diversity and inclusion, and mandatory volunteer work in community centers across Los Angeles. "This isn't a punishment," he explained. "This is an opportunity to grow, to understand that respect isn't about agreeing with everyone, but about recognizing everyone's inherent dignity." Marcus, who had been quietly standing near the door, nodded almost imperceptibly. He'd seen Stallone do this before, turn potential conflicts into moments of transformation. Emily looked up, her earlier judgment replaced by genuine humility. I don't deserve this chance." Stallone's laugh was genuine, filled with the same resilience that had defined his movie characters. "Nobody deserves a second chance. That's why it's called a chance." By noon, the story had spread through the hotel staff, not as a tale of humiliation, but as a remarkable lesson about judgment, grace, and unexpected wisdom. The Platinum Horizon would be more than just a luxury hotel. It would be a place where second chances weren't just possible, they were expected.